Well, I don't know where this road goes. I'll rip this swing down highways alone. 90 miles out, can't go nowhere slow. When your heart's on low.
It's Monday, December 8th, and you've tuned into the People's Patriot Project WeP3 Weekly Debrief. Right now, we are listening to WeP3 Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Together, we share a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom. A freedom secured by the brave men and women who have worn our nation's and community's uniform. Stay tuned for the WeP3 Weekly
WeP3
Debrief.
Radio is produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Support the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach future generations the value of freedom at readsacrossamerica.org.
Thank you for joining in today with Andrea Eichmann and Mark Peterson of the People's Patriot Project for this week's WeP3 Debrief. Find out what our crew has been working on to help support those who have given some and all to the pursuit of liberty and freedoms across Minnesota and the United States. Watch, listen, and support as we create the beacon of hope and opportunity in today's society that needs its heroes. Are you a veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and/or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to be the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always clean. We want to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to the WeP3 Debrief. Here's Andrea and Mark letting you know the mission. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Hello.
There we go. Here we are. Let's do it. Jeremy Daniels in the house. Good to see you, brother.
Jeremy. There he is. Hi, Jeremy. How are you doing? I wonder if he's warmer than us. Today's a beautiful day.
He's in Vegas.
It's balmy, is what Claudia just told me, and she's out there. She did like 15 boxes of wreaths today.
It is 23. It is literally 30 degrees warmer than it was on Saturday today. And tomorrow it's going to be 20 degrees warmer than it is today.
Yeah.
Here in Minnesota.
60 days.
He's in Vegas, so they're pretty safe out there.
You're in Vegas.
No, I'm not.
You're in Vegas.
No, I'm not.
Hey, we are hot off Reads Across America. I only have 82 emails to get to later tonight, so all good on that one.
What is the most confusing one you've gotten so far? Explain that one to me.
Well, I got one that just said, how many wreaths placed this year?
Okay. That's not confusing.
Just under 19. Well, the why is confusing. Like, did you volunteer? Do you want to help?
Yeah,
We just want to know.
come out next year and count them.
Come on out. You're hired. You're hired. Help. When are the wreaths being placed?
That's a little bit confusing.
That's a little bit confusing.
A year from now.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
on December 19th, 2026.
Let me explain to the rest of the world who's not in a freaking deep freeze with 200,000 veterans buried in the same cemetery. It was -10, as Peterson just said, and we missed a big contingency of our grave-specific wreath layers, okay? So when you miss 200 of your wreath layers, and it's freaking cold and nobody else really wants to be out there either, maybe all your wreaths don't get put out, but they're being put out right at this moment. And help. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But your statement was a little bit false, only in the fact that, and I'm not an attack. It's just,
Yeah, you are. Stop attacking me.
no. Listen, let me get through it. Our grave specific wreath layers, which was an organization who put out a message that said, hey, because of our policies, which I fully get and understand based on the criteria of the type of person and who they are, that they would cancel. Now that's the lump of 200 plus, but we were down probably half of the overall volunteers that we've had in the past as well. So from 6,000 to about 3,000, I mean, and zero complaints. They did an amazing job. They got it out there. I was concerned with the number of cancellations we were verbally getting that we were going to have significantly, and we did half. But I was concerned that we were going to be leaving wreaths on the ground to get back there and just do blankets as well. But those volunteers did an amazing, super outstanding, spectacular job of getting out those roughly, that's been about 17,000 wreaths.
Yeah. 18, almost, yeah.
Well, but we still have grave specific that wasn't, yeah.
So that we had 200 who usually do grave specific missing.
Yes.
That was my point. So I
Yes.
wasn't wrong. I was right.
Well, you were right, but not everyone understands the details and the nuances, knowing that we were literally 3,000 people short this last weekend from last year. So you said we only lost 200
of our grave specific wreath layers. Yeah. Yep. So that's why I'm guessing that's where this person is asking when because they probably wanted. What confuses and boggles my mind is you can't be there Saturday to place them, but you can be there Sunday to see if they were placed. Like I get people are busy and they have things going on. Maybe all day Saturday. I don't know. I don't know if I do get it.
There's a little bit of spiciness, and I think we have a little bit of, I mean, I want to celebrate the day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to celebrate the goodness of the stuff that happened. But I get a voicemail on Sunday from somebody that calls and said, hey, I'll be there tomorrow to pick up my wreath. And I'm like, hey, no, you're not. Tomorrow's not a day that we're doing that. So, it just, let's celebrate. I'm going to celebrate, but at the same time, it's not Burger King. You don't get it your way. That's just not. We're just going to have to put that out there.
Right.
And we built some amazing relationships over this weekend. We had, I'm going to say, someone that was kind of an adversary who thought things would work the way that they wanted to. I had a very nice, polite conversation with this gentleman, and we had a learning opportunity, and we taught, because that's the third step of Reads Across America, to honor, to remember, and to teach. And I took the time to teach this individual, and I really do think that it turned out for the absolute best, and there was some growth. And his comment to me then was, I learned more in the amount of time you spent to teach me than I have in the 10 years being involved with Reads Across America. And that's outstanding. Now, I was a little fired up going in. He ultimately ended up giving me a challenge coin at the event, which was definitely a blessing. It was nice. It was a peace pipe, and there was an understanding as we all walked away from that space. So, what else? What else did we get done? Why are we here?
Why are we here? I'm here because I'm looking for someone to listen to me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know where I was going with that. Someone to.
And the train has left the track.
That just thought, whoop, right just there. Boom. I do have a script, though. Let me tell you about the script.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. I will tell you this. I want to tell you that this is our debrief. Peterson is always the debriefer. I did hear Frank just say yesterday the only thing he puts on is his unders or something like that. I don't know.
Change.
And then, oh yeah, that's it.
He changed them.
He changes them on Mondays after the debrief. He changes. Anyway, so
need to after the debrief. My gosh.
It's a train wreck. So we actually are just here to catch you up on things. We're going to talk to you about what we've done, what we're going to be doing, spotlight the missions that we had on last night, which was amazing. So thank you, and a great big shout out to all of our guests and all of our watchers that popped in to make comments and ask questions. Just thank you to all of you for being part of the mission. And then let's talk about our newsletter sponsors. Oh my gosh, guys, we're halfway through the month, which means we'll be gearing up for another newsletter here. But we have got Catch 22 with Derek Iozio. Derek Iozio has his Catch 22, and then he's a peer support group that works with another peer support group, and they are always peer supporting. And I am not trying to take any of the importance away from that. They do an amazing job. I do believe Charlie Brown is part of that group, and I get a lot of really cool messages from her. She's been busy, I'll tell you.
That's her real name, folks. It's not the cartoon character. It is that's her name.
She works with, is it Salvation Army Rescue, right? And she said, yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom just had a really funny sense of humor in that one. She's fun. Charlie is a fun person. So we want to mention Operation Texas Strong with Peggy and Bobby Krutzinger. You know what? I'm going to make it a point this week, since I won't be scheduling wreaths. Well, hopefully I won't be at the cemetery putting wreaths out again. I'm going to go find out what number Peggy and Bobby are on and how many new RVs they've had coming in recently, because I know there's been quite a few. Oh my goodness, those people are amazing. We also have then Mr. Stephen Rainwater. Yes, I love that last name, Rainwater. Mr. Stephen Rainwater and Jonathan Wills of Builder Growth Engine. Oops. That's their email, Builder Growth, but Business Growth Engine. That confused me for just a second. You can see their email over there, and their website is Builder Growth Engine. So they are helping us in all ways technology at the moment. Wowzers. How do I even and where do I even go with that? They've created some really cool things, and we're going to be following through excuse me, with those things, and you're going to see the amazingness. Our website should be out and rolling soon. I think, is it rolling already, or we're just waiting on it?
No, well, not the public, but there is on December 24th, the transition's completely over because we needed to have it done during a time that
That's right.
wasn't we didn't have a lot of emails coming in, and it wasn't going. We couldn't have it done during the event we were just having.
That would have been a mess. That would have been a bit of a mess. And then let's talk about Luke Porter. We got big plans. Luke is, things are kind of pro bono. And so he does things for us like clips and advertising. And he helped me make a video. Earlier on when we were really trying to build up all of our read sponsorships for Fort Snelling. Yeah, that was good. He even worded it for me and I practiced. You know what? When you see the movies and they're like, take 12, and you're like, 12 takes, come on. I bet I did 45. And it was a short little 30-second blurb about Reads Across America. So there you go. There you have it. That's what's going to be in the moment. Thank you, Luke Porter. Frank, did you get your temple massager yet?
I have not experienced the mighty temple massager.
Here we go. You ready for this? Joe Meisch and the mighty temple massager. I saw him. He was on another show just a couple weeks ago with his temple massager, and he's a busy guy. Look at that, 20% off. I bet you could get him in time for Christmas. Merry Christmas. If you order them probably today, because we're 10 days away. So if you don't have your Christmas gifts yet, it's time to really chop that. Peterson can attest to the mighty temple massager.
I don't know where it's at right now because I'm still in moving mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hence these studio decorations I got going on.
You need some
Why
Christmas.
where all the picture hangers are at that you can't find.
Yeah.
Exactly. And your Christmas lights, you should just be hanging them on. You guys, you know what? Let me just put this up here. We've got a little, you can listen to, you can't watch. But if you happen to miss, if you missed yesterday's episode and you're not a podcast kind of person, you just follow that link. You can go, if you have the TuneIn radio app, I used to have that just so I could listen to our football games here in town when my kids played. They do run our show every night at 11 Eastern, so at 10 Central Time.
Sunday night.
Did I say Saturday?
No, you said every night.
Oh, wow, every night. I skipped right over that word Sunday in the middle of our little thing right there. I was distracted by figuring out the math on the time zones, I think is what I did. So iHeartRadio, Odyssey, or TuneIn apps, you can listen to that on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Central Time. And it's the week before. It's the episode from the week before. So, yeah. So you'd have to listen to this week's and then go to last week's again. You wouldn't want to miss the one from last night, though. I'm pretty sure.
I should pull that up and just throw it in the link, to be honest with you.
Last night's?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. You can talk about our guests, too, or no?
Is that my turn?
Well, it says my name, but I just been talking for 25 minutes, so.
Yeah, I know. Yappy, make yappies.
Watch this.
Why don't you roll with it while I'm in the middle of a job?
So, yeah, we had Conrad Weaver as our guest last night, and I knew the name sounded familiar, and so did the documentary. And until I looked up, because Mark Peterson was like, yeah, I know, I've seen the trailer, I haven't seen the whole thing. And I went and looked at the trailer, and I was like, that's the documentary. Of course, I watched that one. He paid a lot of focus to 3 individuals in this documentary: Maddie, the fireman, and then there were two ladies, one a police officer and one a dispatcher. And so Maddie comes with a background of trauma and turned into usage, and he got himself all straightened out and back on track. Firefighting world did not improve any of his trauma or issues. And then the police, oh, shoot, I can see her name on the screen. I just can't think of it. She did talk about her insecurities, like, built up because she's a woman and because she felt not trusted or part of the team always. I mean, there's zero, like, but there's that happens. She may have put it on herself some. She may have had it put on her that maybe she couldn't do the job quite as well as, the male population could do their job. And the reality was she was doing a great job. And then the dispatcher, and I've got a neighbor. I had 2 neighbors. One moved away, but one's still here that are dispatchers. And in a small town, that's a real hard thing. Hastings is probably about 20,000 people. And the gal who moved away took a call once when it was a relative. And you still have to do your job. Sometimes you think you know who the person is. Sometimes you don't. And then that time, it was a feeling that she got, and it was a little too obvious, a little too, like, seriously in her heart, and she knew. And then we just had another incident here. So the gal across the road took the call for a police officer in Farmington who lives here in Hastings, and his kids go to school here, and she was on the call when he didn't want to be here anymore. And that's a tough one. Anyway, small towns, and then that's a little too close. And the gal that was on the show, she's not here anymore either. It just was too much. I think everybody, sometimes you might not be able to listen if you don't really know this world. And I do think everybody, though, should hear or be, I don't want to say forced, kind of forced to understand the kinds of things that just you think, oh, a dispatcher, they're just answering the phone and sending out the help, right? No, it's far from that. So Conrad Weaver, is it called 911? PTSD 911?
Yes,
right?
yes.
It's kind of really cool. I texted Peterson last night. I was a little intimidated to have a writer, director, producer, researcher, and Conrad, who's been in the mix with all of these people. And he has his own podcast, and he's written, scripts and books or he's writing a book. And here I am stuttering through the intro, and Peterson's like, you're, what are you doing? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I think I psyched myself out for this. But so he really does press the point, Conrad does, of trauma. There's a lot of times trauma there before a person goes into the community service world and the military service world. A lot of times you've suppressed those traumas, those memories, whatever has been suppressed. And like he did with Maddie, when you're in a moment, whether you even remember where your trauma came from or not, that trauma, there can be a trigger that just boom, throws that trauma to the surface. And so you know, I would guess that a big chunk of the population has got some sort of trauma in their back pocket or in their closet or whatever you want to call it. When it's been suppressed, but something triggers it, it's not a good situation. So in 2023, in order to promote his documentary, Conrad did a coast-to-coast bicycle. There I go, stuttering. Bicycle trip. It was a 65-day bicycle trip across the country to promote PTSD 911. He said that there were so many lessons in that trip. You find yourself. You are very uncomfortable, and he himself figured out he can do hard things. It's not easy to sit on a bicycle seat for 65 days in a row. And I know he said he trained, but it doesn't matter how long you train if you're going to be on the different roads, different weather, different, right? Like you are definitely going to be uncomfortable. Learning that you can do hard things and that a struggle can make you stronger is almost opposite of what our culture thinks today. Right now, our culture thinks the easier it is, the better it is. A lot of people. Technology is supposed to make our lives easier, but do you think in reality, is it making it easier for us or is it stressing us even more? Think about that one. Okay, like I have to be here every Monday night, and then that Monday when my computer reboots 4 minutes before the show starts, that's stress. I don't need that extra, right? Those kind of things. Anyway, he says you have to be willing to suffer a little bit, and that is where the joy comes from. Suffer a little bit.
I've heard that theme quite often lately with other influencers and stuff. Is like, you know, pain is part of the mission, suffering is part of the mission, being tired is part of the mission, and that you don't have gain. When you think about it, you have to break something to get growth or to move something forward. And I think we forget that sometimes. And a lot of people, I don't know, they don't want to be uncomfortable in a lot of spaces, places, and times.
Nope, 100%.
I didn't want to necessarily be outside on Saturday. Yeah, I'm not going to go there again. We went there once already. It's just funny how many people became meteorologists the week of the event and had to email us that it was going to be below zero. But then I also know there's events like the Green Bay Packers don't have a problem filling the stadium full. The Chicago Bears don't have a problem filling the stadium full. Well, they might have a problem.
Not due to the weather as much.
You got to have fans to fill the stadium. But.
At least they play outside. Unlike some teams.
Yeah, like Dallas, those guys.
Yeah, right, Dallas. The Metrodome.
Doesn't exist, brother. Doesn't exist.
It's not there?
No, the Metrodome has been gone for years.
They're playing outside?
Well, I didn't say they're playing outside, but there is no Metrodome.
Oh, well, okay. But what is it now? The Metro Stadium?
No, it's called U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, of course.
U.S. Bank. And they got some of the biggest doors ever in the history of life that open up on one end. Only when it's warm, though.
It's beautiful, though. It really is. I don't know.
I love watching the games in the snow. That's just nice.
There's some culture to it. I mean, I lived that world for a chunk of time, and so yeah, there's definitely there's some pieces, there's some smells, there's some, like I said, culture. It's there are some games I wish I didn't play outside, I'll be honest with you, but it is what it is, and we're still here to talk about it.
Yeah.
Frank, why don't you roll with the musicians?
All right. Well, I'll give up my best musical shot. So I really enjoyed the guests we had, the music guests we had this week. Now, of course, I enjoy all of them, but Michael Allen was an amazing guy. And then to hear about all the stuff he's done, and not only making amazing music, he's done so many other things, and he's still on active duty. And to hear him speak about trauma, it happens almost every week, and it's not planned, but there always seems to be some connection found between the musical guest and the other guest. And this time it was Conrad's focus on trauma, and the two of them were sharing things about struggles and how they've worked their way through it. And I thought that was one of the best parts of the show last night. And Michael has a new album coming out, and a new song that'll be out the end of January. He's looking forward to continuing his path into music once he leaves the service. And I have no doubt in my once military mind that he'll do a fantastic job as a musical performer, because he has the right focus, and he's not going to let anything stop him. So I wish him all the best. And he sang, we played 3 songs of his yesterday. It was the first one was called Blood, and I don't think anybody needs to have a further definition of that one. It is what the title is, and it was a good song. And the second one was called War Machine, and that's the one that most people who know of his music know him from. And he's talked about it and said that the passion that he has when he's singing the song is very fitting, and people can relate to the words of that song, even if they did not serve. They still have that struggle. And the third song was called Lingering Love. And I won't go into my take on that, but it's kind of the song that you expect. That it's that love that just won't go away, even though you know that you're not really a fit for the person that you're sharing that with. It just keeps on and keeps on, and it's trying to find a way out, but it just comes back and it keeps going. So he made a point that everybody's probably had at least one of these occurrences, and mine lasted about 2 years, and it shouldn't even been 2 weeks. But divorce is a great thing. That was the 3 songs, and I really enjoyed his music. Looking forward to his new stuff.
He had I'm going to call it a spirit, and he is just so laid back, so positive. You can throw a positive mindset in there. He just,
well, I think that's part of the military coming out, because the more special forces folks that the more you can relate to their attitude, and they have to have kind of it's funny. It's a laid back but very focused attitude. It's like they don't get worried, or they don't get bothered or upset or thrown off track by little things. They stay focused on what they're doing, but it's a very deliberate focus. I love them all.
his demeanor, there's something about it. It's just cool, collect. Just
that's why they're called special.
What's that?
That's why they're called special forces.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do it, man.
Not everyone can do it. What do we got coming up?
Well, Do we have any events like right now on our calendar?
I don't think so.
2
I
cheap
think not.
burgers and order a prize.
That's right. Nothing like nothing big in the next couple of months. Probably we try not to because shoot, we gotta do the family thing through Christmas, right? And then New Year's, and then it's for me back to school.
We have a lot of invites to be all over the country. I don't know that we can pull any of it off, but we'll always put it in the little burner to see if we can pull it. We got some people working on some fundraising pieces that might be able to push. Ultimately, I have a struggle when we are trying to take care of veterans and first responders using that money for any part of a travel expenses. That's always
Right.
been a struggle for me. But that is also how we get our name out there and let people know what we're doing, how we're doing, and where we're doing it. And so,
Well, I'll pay for my own way to the West Virginia Moonshine Festival if you guys want to come.
when is that?
Sometime in the spring or summer, whenever the
That's-
organizer comes out of his funk from the last one and decides a good day.
That's very specific details there, Mr. The Myth. I
Well,
appreciate
that's how we roll down here. You wake up and you have a good day and you schedule the Moonshine Festival. No, I know I'll talk to the distiller this week. I got to go by and drop off some of my new books. He's one of my outlets for my books.
That sounds like a very fun one, actually.
Oh, it's a hoot.
But
But don't plan on traveling after the Moonshine Festival. You need to stay for at least a night.
And what
A
city
lot of
is it?
sampling going on.
Oh, I've been through West Virginia. I can't say that I've been in West Virginia, but I've been through the tip.
How could you not be in it if you went through it?
Well, we didn't stop.
Oh, okay. Well,
We didn't stop. Does that count
you
then?
know all the good places.
I think we just went right. Is that I-80? What is the interstate? that goes-
I-81.
Yeah, we just went across.
I live 2 miles from that.
Well, this was a long time. I was a kid.
They drove right by you, Frank, and they just said, you know what? That's,
Think Frank lives there. Keep going. That was my childhood trip to DC. I was 14 and I didn't really like adults, and didn't like my sister. She was 7. And they put us in a Suburban with my mom, my dad, my grandma, and my grandma's sister and brother-in-law. So my great aunt and uncle. And so, the old Suburbans, the seat is like this high off the floor. So that's your leg room. You're sitting with your knees up. And I was always in the back. I was never car sick. Thank goodness I've never been a car sick kiddo. But
I like the old station wagons. They'd throw the kids in the back of the station wagon and be rolling around.
Oh, and I made her be on the floor and I would land. But we went on a 2 weeks in the Suburban. We went like up through Niagara Falls into Canada. Or maybe that's where we came back down. We went to Maine. So I was so close to Columbia Falls where Reach Across America is. Of course, they weren't doing it yet, but my mom's cousins live there. Her one uncle moved out there with his kids. And so we visited them for a whole entire week. And I was ready to come home. And I had a boyfriend that, Chris, you're missing your boyfriend when you're a teenager. And then they said, we're going to go home through Washington, D.C. And I was like, can we just go home? What is this torture? And so we went to D.C., which really is really cool, but I had zero appreciation. I was a nasty little teenager.
I was going to say, you're just a snotty little brat.
I was just being a brat. Well, the most fun part, besides for like seeing the White House and stuff, and we didn't make it to Arlington, but was Howard Johnson's hotel that had an indoor-outdoor pool. You could swim under the window, get to the outdoor pool. That was my highlight. And then this is one, who was our guest? And I finished it off with the Amana colonies in Iowa. That was the end of our 2-week tour with. Yeah, I hated that. Just wanted to get home. I got to think that I didn't even really like that boyfriend anymore, but
whatever.
It is what it is.
Smooch on your boyfriend. That's
yeah. When my wife retires, I want to take a month or so and just drive around a bunch of the Civil War battlefields.
Yeah, my parents did that a few years back. They loved that.
I've been to Gettysburg like at least a dozen times, and Antietam is less than 35 minutes from where I live. So I've been there. Bull Run, also down in Manassas. I used to go there every once in a while when I lived in Northern Virginia. But outside of that, I've missed a lot of them. I've been to Wilson's Creek and Pea Ridge out in Arkansas and Missouri. But that was when I was real young.
I haven't been. I have. Nope. I've been to
trip to Europe with my wife when she retires, and go to Normandy and
Omaha.
See the stuff there.
Here's a little fun fact I learned about. I believe this gentleman's uncle he's buried. He's buried in France, but what they do on the headstones, so he was showing me pictures, like the headstones are they're white. So the names and dates are all chiseled in there, but it's white and you can't hardly see it. But if they know you're coming, they will take the sand from the beach and rub it on there so that the letters are visible and the numbers and you can see. Yeah. So he had those two pictures of it, white and then with the sand.
I could be mistaken, but I thought there was like 10,000 U.S. soldiers buried there.
I believe there were a lot of, yes. And this was probably 5 years ago. Well, probably, I shouldn't say that because it was probably pre-COVID, which a couple of years before COVID. And he said, the coolest part is they still love us. When you go to those cemeteries, they still love Americans and they still cherish, what was done for them.
Yeah, well, the folks in the eastern portion of France aren't quite that level. That was not a fun trip. They did not want people coming through and sightseeing. They were not pro U.S. Completely depending on where you are, but it's like that all over the world, I guess.
Okay, this. So at Normandy, 9,400. At Lorraine, the largest American World War II cemetery in Europe has 10,500. The Commonwealth troops are primarily, that's about 4,000. The Brittany American Cemetery has 4,400 American dead. And the Epinal American Cemetery has 5,300 dead. And the Lacombe German Cemetery houses 80,000 German soldiers. It's crazy.
Yep. All for what? I mean, it's such a waste of the most valuable resource of a country is their people. And diplomatic failure results in the biggest loss of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just sad.
Buried close to where they fell. Yeah. That's a tough one. Peterson, you're awfully busy over there.
I am. I'm getting through stuff.
So I just posted a little thing. I wanted to remind everybody, and I know I've probably talked way too much about Wreaths Across America for today, but they do have a special running right now. Any wreath that you order through a sponsorship group at any national cemetery, so like People's Patriot Project is a sponsorship group for Fort Snelling. I think we have 63 active sponsorship groups, but if you order through a sponsorship group right now, Wreaths Across America will match your order. So if I were to order 5 right now, Fort Snelling would get 10.
Oh, I thought it was just buy one, you got one.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But it's you can buy as many and they'll match it?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Hi, Rich. In Brittany. That's craziness, Rich. How many people are over there?
Congratulations on the award, man.
Say that again, Frank.
Said, hey, Rich, congratulations on your podcast award. Well earned.
Rich, how long has it been since Rich was on our podcast?
You'll have to look that up.
I'm going to look. I'm going to start at 2021. Maybe he knows, but I bet not.
One of these days I'll get to meet Rich. Looking forward to that.
Oh, crap. It might have been prior to when we started these kind of records.
No, we had him on early 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You think so? Not 2025.
No.
No.
– 16 months. Is that how long I gotta wait to meet you, man? I had
16 months.
16 months?
He says 16 months, maybe. I guess that's when he was on.
So that's 2024 at the end. That's what he's saying.
I thought he was telling me that's how long I had to wait till I get to meet him.
What on earth? How come he's not show? I have to search by a different way. 2024. AJ Richards. AJ Richards was 2024. How weird is that? I feel like he was just on December of last year. It's been a whole year. Craziness. Rich, I'm not finding you.
Oh,
I gotta start saving my pennies. I mean, I can't save pennies anymore. Gotta start saving my nickels. They want me to go out to Manila for the next year's award.
We should do some fundraising so you can go in style.
I'm not sure I want to go to the Philippines. I know people in the Philippines.
Uh-huh. Yep.
He definitely doesn't want to see me.
This sounds like another one of those stories.
Oh no, this is my stepdaughter's father.
Ah.
He never wants to see me again. Because I've got some choice words for that gentleman. That's a very loose term in his case.
Yes. Not good. Not good ways to. No. Nope. Well, then, that was my story all about the Reeds Across America. You can check out our radio station. Good news on the radio station. I think we have got a guy who is he's making a career change, and he is hanging out for a while, and he wants help with our radio station.
Cool.
Do some more cross country stuff, Rich. Let's meet in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Frank will let us know. So there's our radio station. We have just a ton of music created, produced, performed by veterans and first responders. I gotta say, last night was an amazing testimonial to podcasting abilities.
Oh, I look forward to every single show. The guests amaze me every time I sit here and listen and see what they're doing and hear their stories.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it kind of gives me a boost.
Well, then there's a little bit of excitement when you see the connection with all of the network, the people who know the connection with Shannon Book with Michael last night, and the connection with just other organizations that we've worked with, and he wants to know the bits and pieces and places.
Well, it's working, man. You guys are so proud. What you're doing is working, and it's building things, and I think it's neat. Do people say neat anymore?
Neat.
6, 7.
They
6,
do
7.
still,
6,
yeah.
7.
Yes. That one's not going away.
Oh, they already gave up on that one?
No. There's something else there. There's a 41 now, 41. There's a guy, Mr. Lindsay. He makes a new video every week. He's got a lot of videos, but every week he'll be like, here's what's hot this week, just so you can understand what the kids are talking about or where it came from.
Yeah. I haven't had that experience yet. I'd probably come back with Dumb and Dumber.
It's kind of fun.
And they probably wouldn't get it.
I may or may not have read the Riot Act today to some kiddos, but it's all in a day's work. We have a guest for next weekend. We have a couple musicians we're working on, but we do have Margot Lapointe, and she is with Military Kids Retreats. I'm kind of excited to hear this one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we have a group here in my town, United Heroes. We had Shane on a long time ago, but United Heroes started out as the Blue Line, and they just did hockey equipment for veteran families when parents were deployed, right? And then it was any veteran's family, and then they grew to first responders, and then instead of the Blue Line, they also added baseball, all kinds of other sports equipment, but hockey is still their focus. He's in real tight with the Wild management and players.
They're doing well this year.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
They just signed one of the biggest defense players in the country. They think he's the best defense player in the country.
What is he, like 6'8"?
I don't know. Height matters, does it?
He said he's the biggest defense player.
Oh, Frank. I think I said best, not biggest.
Okay.
What? You can say that. You can say it. All right. I'm out of stuff. I talked a lot. You guys shouldn't even let me.
I was just sitting back tonight for once.
I know. And look at 18 emails just came through. Will you stop, please?
Yeah. Quinn Hughes in a blockbuster trade with Vancouver Canucks.
Wow.
That's who we got. Quinn Hughes, the Wild acquired the star defensive.
That is pretty darn good. Wonder what they gave up.
Give me a second. They signed defensive prospects Zev Boyum and Steve Leskover, and veteran depth defenseman Matt Kirstig and Jack Johnson in 2025. I don't know if that answers the question.
Well, there's teams trying to save some money that know they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, they are pretty constant that this might put us over the top.
Yeah,
I don't follow hockey enough to know, but did you see what those Vikings did last night? Skull!
They won?
Yeah. But they're out of the playoffs, so it doesn't matter.
Who
They have the Christmas game. This is going to be kind of exciting. They and it's a whiteout. The Vikings will be in whiteout, and it's on Christmas Day. I think it'll be fun.
Where is it at?
Well, it'll be in Minnesota if they're calling the whiteout.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
They ain't playing outside.
Oh, Frank.
Is that their home jerseys are white?
No, their whole uniform will be white, Frank.
So are the Packers, and they lost.
It doesn't matter. They're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter.
I don't think my team has an all-white jersey.
Okay.
But they're in first place.
I knew it was coming. I knew that was coming.
I'm going to go look. I'm going to look because we can do that right now.
That's okay. They'll blow it. I still say that Green Bay and Detroit will be the two from the NFC Central. They play Green Bay this weekend. That's a Saturday game, I think.
The Bears do not have an all-white. Well, they could. Yes, Chicago Bears have worn an all-white uniform. They call it the Polar Bear uniforms. In 2000, but I don't think their helmets were. I don't think teams did that stuff back. I think that's a new, and I think the Oregon Ducks kind of brought this in. But like, there's so many teams that even college and pros have a complete uniform set from week to week. It's
Army
crazy.
had an all-white uniform. Oh, I forget what year it was. They played in a snowstorm. It's like we can't find them.
That is hilarious.
What do you do when you get an email on December 13th at the event, Wreaths Across America, and someone asks, where do we get the wreaths?
Well, I already responded to that one. The answer would be first look at your emails that came out the last 2 weeks. And they didn't find it because then the other response would be the programs, the signs, the QR codes all had that information. And they were right there in the cemetery. So I feel bad that they didn't find their wreaths, but they didn't find their wreaths. But they got to put some out off the trucks. So that's a good thing.
Do they let other people put their own wreaths down during that part, or is it just all for the Wreaths Across America thing?
Technically it's a Wreaths Across America day.
Yeah.
I don't think towards the late afternoon, I did see some other, like some flower businesses out there.
Yeah.
Putting wreaths out, but I think they stay away pretty much during the Wreaths Across America. The cemetery makes an announcement, but they don't say you can't come out. So
Well, I think wreaths are normally pretty darn expensive. I don't know why someone would not get one that
Right.
comes through wreaths across America.
I feel a little bit bad in Minnesota here because it was so cold. Like the ribbons are frozen. Now, when they thaw out, they lay down and look nicely, but when you put them out right out of the box, they're crunchy. They're pretty crunchy, but they do look nice after they get all, the sun shines on them the next day and they get a little relaxed. But we have people that go out there like 12 hours later. Like, anyway. Anyway, they look good. Claudia's out there right now. She said it looks so nice in these sections that are covered. So, yes, indeed. All right, I got nothing.
All right, let's close with a song. We'll close with one of Mr. Michael Allen's songs. Frank, you got a choice?
I kind of like Lingering Love.
Okay, we can do Lingering Love. This is Lingering Love by Michael Allen.
How much farther can we kick this can down the road? Drag my feet for so long, burned a hole in my soul. Feels like the words were right on the tip of my tongue, but they get all tied up like a bull on the run. I think we both knew this was coming, 'cause I looked in your eyes, we both started to cry, try to mumble goodbye. We both know that it's time to let this go. Oh no, yes, it's time to let this go. Oh no. I'm waiting till the 11th hour to tell you what's been on my mind. The burden of all love's weight on my shoulders. I don't wanna break your heart, no mind. And I think we both knew this was coming, 'cause I looked in your eyes, we both started to cry, try to mumble goodbye. We both know that it's time to let this go. Oh no, yes, it's time to let this go. Oh no. So if tomorrow never comes, we keep on acting like everything's just fine. Tiptoe